Hello, all, and welcome back to another monthly post of our digital residency at the IMT Gallery. I'm your host, Bijan, and for the next couple of minutes, I will be taking you through the highlights of my life as an Iranian multimedia artist living in London. So hang in there and sit tight and let this roller coaster of a journey begin. As you can see, 2022 has just begun and the art world seems to be super excited about getting back on its shaky legs again and start planning ahead for a year which hopefully will see the end of this soul-crushing and murderous COVID pandemic. Since last we spoke, and apart from the usual administrative, managerial, and organizational chores, which very ridiculously and sadly seems to be the main job of the 21st century artist. And of course, after leaving aside the very unpoetic and dehydrating task of filing your annual tax return in the months of January, the most exciting event of the month for me has been the opening of our group show at the VO Curations in central London just a while ago. As you might already know, last winter and towards the end of the deep lockdown, and with the generous and unusual help of the Exchequer Chancellor, Mr. Sunak, I became able, for the first time in my life, to rent myself a tiny studio in the heart of the Lion's Den, Mayfair, which, by the way, at the time looked rather like a post-apocalyptic city out of a dystopian film due to COVID. 10 months on, and the VO Curations, who manages the studios, have brought together 62 of their artists in a group show called Assemble. The show opened on January the 14th and without a private view due to the surge of Omicron, and it will be on until February the 10th. So if you're around, please come and see it. I am taking part in the show with a recent film of mine called Disco Islam. Disco Islam is a sci-fi corporate film, or in other words, it's a science fiction commercial. It is about a fictional dystopian neoliberal nightclub from the future in Iran, which is built on the site of an environmental disaster, and it covers up human rights issues in the Middle East with the aid of Silicon Valley technologies. In fact, I was thinking that now that we are here, why not watching a few minutes of the film together? So it goes like this.
Imagine the biggest nightclub in the heart of the Middle East, where as a tourist or a local, you can take a break from your busy day and enjoy some quality time with your friends and companions. Imagine having access to branded parties in a reclaimed exotic space, complete with VIP wristbands and curated street food experiences. And imagine all of that happening just in line with cultural sensitivities of the locals, as well as the laws of an Islamic country, while at the same time keeping up with the highest standards of the entertainment industry on an international level.
When you think about Iran, one of the last things that comes to one's mind is a country famous for its nightlife. I'm about to challenge this perception and tell you why an investment in the nightlife industry in Iran has been a life-changing one. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Real Iran. I'm a Muslim entrepreneur, an Islamic futurist, and the founder of the Future Islam startup company, and I would like to tell you the story of Disco Islam.
Iran is a country of more than 80 million people, over 60% of which are under 30, highly educated, and consumption savvy. It is a country once called by Martin Sorrell of advertising giant WPP
the biggest untapped market before Mars and the Moon.
A country that after its 1979 revolution is going through another form of a revolution headed towards
the liberation of the market.
And add to all of that, a ruling government with a true commitment to pro-market economic reforms and economical policies cheered on by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which has put the country among the cheapest within the global labor market.
It is in the face of these facts that in our startup company Future Islam, we decided that it is time for a positive response to this Iranian dream for luxury and freedom by investing in a project which brings about both economic and political stability in the country and also sets a new tone for further international investments in the Middle East region. A project which would not only work on a financial and economical level, but one which would also be capable of competing with other successful and high-prestige cultural developmental projects in the region like the Louvre in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia's City of Future, Neom.
Following the success that we have been enjoying in Future Islam in the past years, with projects like the Hijab Walk, Tehran's first ever Fashion Week, boosted with an AR catwalk that uses gorgeous models without actual bodies, Islam Got Talent, the Islamic Iranian version of the universally popular television talent show, and last but not least, Iran Mall, Middle East's biggest shopping mall, which is set to revolutionize retail life in Islamic Iran.
Our latest project, Disco Islam, is the culmination of all our values and efforts so far. As you can see, Disco Islam uses CGI, live action, and music to weave together fact and fiction and ultimately picture a dystopian vision of the Middle East, where the neoliberal ideology of free trade and boundless profit-making has resulted in socioeconomic injustices, environmental catastrophes, and the abandonment of the humanist project in the Middle East. Please do come and see the film in full at VO Curations before February the 10th, if you're around. I guess that's all from me for now. Thank you very much again for your support, time, and attention, and talk to you again in a month's time. All my best, and until then.
Disco Islam is designed and constructed to fit perfectly with its surroundings.